I'm here with the fabulous media guru, should I say, because she is like doing her thing, Miss Nella D.
Oh, thank you. Hey, girl.
Hey. I am super excited to have you on here. We're going to be talking about just her journey in the industry, some of the brands that she has partnered up with, and just really how you can be a boss out here and build your own brand. So make sure y'all sit back, stay tuned while we get into the conversation. I'm excited to have you here, Nella. I think this is your second time on the Natural Woman Magazine platform. I think you were one of our Natural Women of the Year when we had that segment going on.
Yes.
And that was because you were doing a lot then. I think that was back in 2017.
Yeah, it was. You had reached out, and I was glad to be a part of it. He was like, "Hey," I'm like, "Yes, I would love to be a part of this." So thanks for that as well, man. Thank you. I'm still doing what I do.
Yes, which is why we're even here talking about some of the amazing things you got going on. So for those of people who do not know who you are, just tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and why you even on Boss Talk right now.
Okay, so I'm Nella D. I work for 101.1 The Wiz here in Cincinnati. I'm my own air talent DJ. I have my own media platform as well called 401 Uncut. I'm a blogger. I interview tons of artists on my platform. I promote the daily celebrity news and gossip. I'm an influencer. I do a lot.
Yes.
I do a lot.
Your thing. You definitely be on your thing. And one of the things we're gonna talk about, you just newly Remy ambassador, or you got a Remy deal going on. We're gonna talk about.
You see the 1738 right here, okay? I recently just signed a deal with Remy Martin to be the influencer for Cincinnati. So I'm excited. This is something that's like super major, not only just for me, but for the city. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
this is wins all around the board. I'm excited about these events and things I'm gonna put together with Remy Martin. It's gonna be so lit for sure.
So I think that is super awesome with the Remy deal. We're gonna get more into that as we have this conversation. But how did you even get started in media? Like, because I know a lot of people will want to do some of the things that you do. They love that lifestyle. Like, what prompted you to get started, and how did you just flourish into Nella D?
Well, I always been a person who was like turned up. I was the girl who had like posters all over my wall growing up. I was the person that was recording, every one of us in Park episode, dance teams, listening to the radio, listening to the Wiz. I always listened to the Wiz growing up. I would call in, shout out my cousins, like that was my thing. And actually, when I was a manager at McDonald's, one of my crew members had told me, like, "You're funny. You should work on the radio, and you'll be good with it." I'm like, "What? How would I do that?" They like go to the be on air stuff you hear on the radio. I'm like, "Yeah, I did. I've heard." And I had nothing to lose. I was just a manager at McDonald's at the time, and I was doing third shift. So I remember getting off in the morning, and I end up just looking up the school online, and I end up scheduling a campus visit. And when I went and I seen all those boards and mics, and I just fell in love. I'm like, "Oh nah, this is me. This is me now."
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Shout out to Ohio Media School. I attended Ohio Media School. I graduated 2017-18.
Okay.
So, shouts out to that. It did give you a lot. It gave you a great foundation.
Yes, and it's crazy because those same commercials that I heard, I now voice them. I'm now there. I now endorse Ohio Media School. It's so crazy. You fast forward all these years later, but Ohio Media introduced me to media. I wouldn't know half of the things I know now. I wouldn't have got the opportunity to intern at the radio to get my job there. Shout out to Ohio Media. Like, changed my whole life in 9 months, as they say.
Yeah, it definitely does. All you got to do is do the work, and be serious and determined about where you want to be, and it can definitely take you far. You are proof of that. So Ohio Media School opened the door. You interned at the radio station.
Yes.
And like you just next thing you know, you on the air.
Well, it didn't even just work like that. So when I first got hired in radio, I went through the promotions department. That's how I got hired in. So I came in doing the marketing for the Wiz. I was like the youngest person there at the time. So
Okay.
that was working in marketing. So they had put me to basically be the person that handles all the contests and things like that for the Wiz. So a lot of the promotion and stuff I was helping come up with. I was handling them, how we give away our tickets and things like that, like the different contests you would hear. I would have to drive the vehicles, put up the banners, the tent. I was doing all the hard work. So Don Juan and DJ Skills and Diamond, they could just come do them. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I learned so much in promotions. So starting out in marketing was great because I really got to sit back and watch everything, and I got to meet so many people because being in promotions, you part of street team, so it puts you in the streets, and I used that to make my connections, build my names. People saw me all the time, everywhere. Oh, that's the girl with the weird truck. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So after that, I end up doing some on air things. We end up getting a new boss in, and I just started working on my air checks. I would send them to him, and he started letting me do like gossip segments with him on the radio. So that's how I end up coming up with like the girl with the 411 and making that my slogan. They turned me into the gossip girl.
Awesome. Okay. I never knew that story. That's so interesting.
Yep, yep.
So that's how 411 Uncut was just birthed through that.
And not even just 41 Uncut. 41 Uncut kind of got birthed because I needed a podcast. Like I seen podcasts was trendy in 2015. It was just like the start of it. And I had got to a point to where like the radio station would take away things from me. They would like let me do interviews with artists and be like, nah, you ain't doing that no more. And I'm like, look, I can't keep getting this ain't gonna work. I'm about to start my own podcast. I'm gonna interview these artists whenever I want. So that's what really pushed me to start 401 Uncut, and that happened in 2015. So I've been doing 401 Uncut for a while, and I just started off as a podcast, and I started putting the daily news and gossip on the social media pages to keep it just going in between. When I wasn't doing interviews, I made sure I kept my audience engaged.
Awesome. Yes, because you did a lot for not just keeping us in the know of what's going on and the gossip, but I remember when I started checking out some of your interview. Well, no, I think how I noticed you. One, of course, the radio, but you are also doing listening to other people's music and giving them advice.
Yeah.
Giving them that feedback, which a lot of artists need. And I was like, oh, and you had them numbers coming in.
Man, and I did it because once again, something got taken away from me at the radio station where I was somewhat doing something like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it online. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do it online. I'm gonna play artist music. I'm gonna give them feedback. And it actually, I've been doing it, I think, since 2017. I still do it every other Wednesday. I go live off of my Facebook page and I do it at True Sound Studio with Mike Toombs. And we sit there for 2 hours and we give feedback to artists and let them know, just things that maybe they don't know. And maybe your friend, they'll just tell you this song hot. Right. But won't tell you the real truth because they don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah. They don't know. So we tell artists things like, look, this is a good record. This could be a hit single. You should really put some money behind this and try to promote it and try to get it put, in the right places. You know what? This song, this ain't it. This one might not be the one you right. Promote. Maybe this song will be better if you, recorded at a real studio. We could tell that the production on this is not up to par. You need to get some things keyed in. We give that type of feedback and just try to encourage the artists and keep it going. I feel like I work for the radio. That's my duty. I advocate for artists. That's who it is. Like I advocate because I had that same dream like artists. I want to be on the radio. So why not help people with their dreams too?
Right. And I thought that was just so dope. And I still love that you still do it because that's really needed in the industry because people really think that in order to become an artist and to be like, Drake, Nicki Minaj, that you just got to have that one hit song and overnight somebody going to hear it and they're going to sign you. They don't know that a lot of these artists, they pop off because they putting money behind their stuff and really pushing it. They paying for the features. They're paying for the top quality stuff. They paying for the radio spots. It just don't nobody just discover you and you going to blow up.
Yeah, it really, it's random. And if they do discover you, whoever did discover you, they got the money to put behind you. Right. So that's is what a lot of people got to understand. You know, when it comes to music, you're somebody's investment. You know what I mean? When people have these record labels, even independent labels, whoever got the money, they are investing in you to see
Right.
a return. So you got to be hot, but you got to have the money. You got to have, if it's you not with the money, hey, somebody got to have it, because
Right.
that's really, like you said, a lot of, a lot of artists, they don't understand that. You know, they be sitting around crying, singing they shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's like, look, somebody came through with that bag for somebody else and put them where they needed to be.
Right. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's a business.
All day and tomorrow, you are somebody's investment. So gotta be hot. And people, you know, people will invest. You know, I think like Jay Prince, he did that for Drake. So that's why Drake is, you know, where he's at. And
Right.
he always shouting out Houston in his music and everything.
People think he's from Houston as much he give a recognition to Houston.
But he's better. You know what I mean?
Right. He should. Definitely put him on. I think that is super dope. So you have like this empire because you do the radio hosting, you have the 411 legacy thing going on because you do the the art, giving the artist the feedback and keeping us up with the news, and then you also DJ.
Yeah.
As well, because I remember, I think, I don't know, it was last year you came out saying like, you know, I'm about to take it to a whole nother level now. So, like, what you over there doing, girl?
Got to. You know what? I started and I started DJing in 2019. Like I started practicing. I ended up getting a gig over in KY at a bar. And I was like, man, I had told DJ Smooth, my big brother, shout out to Smooth. I said, look, I want us to do this night at this bar, but I want you to DJ. But he was like, look, I don't care. I'm gonna just bring my equipment and you practice on it. Like, since you've been wanting to DJ anyway, like I had kind of been practicing at the club I work at Prestige. So he was like, look, I'm gonna teach you. So he literally like taught me while the club was going on. And I kind of, you know, being a host in the club and working next to the DJs, you kind of start knowing how things operate.
Right.
I took the time to just start learning it, and he ended up pushing me to buy my own equipment, to download all the things I needed on my computer and everything like that. And he told, go get this and go get this and that. And next thing you know, I'm like, you know what? I'm about to really promote that I'm a DJ, because you know you could do a lot of things. It's until you start promoting that and knowing how to market this new thing you're doing is when it really end up taking off.
Right. I definitely get it because, you know, it's being like the DJ in itself and doing the things that you do, like you put in your, like you like the plug pretty much. Artists need to get you the music to be played, and it's like you ain't a slouching that you're really good, like you're about to DJ my fashion show.
Okay.
One person was like, who can I get? I was like, no, I hope she's available. You know, and then on top of you're not just getting just the DJ, but you're getting an influencer, somebody who has a name for herself. Like you really established in this industry, which is super dope. And kudos to you for being able to build that. You went to Ohio Media School in 2015.
No, I went. Oh, what was it? I think I was September. You know how they got September days, and
Yeah.
I think I was September days 2011. So
11, okay, but still, that's like 10 years. You have literally just evolved into something you was dreaming about doing. And I just think that's just so amazing. And that's why I love to interview and talk to people just about that journey. Like, because so many people think that it's just easy, or they think that it happens overnight, but you actually put in work. You grind it.
Yeah. you got to. I think a lot of people don't understand that you know, we live in this like microwave type of culture, because we done seen people, right? We done seen people go viral. Like we done seen like this person that was just normal, and next thing you know, they're going viral, and it's like, oh, I got all these followers or whatever. But we know that, look, followers do not amount to money. You know what I mean?
I know that.
Yeah, we know that. And it's just a thing where a lot of people, the hardest thing to do is to stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you, like, look, I have been doing a live feature where I give feedback to artists every other Wednesday. Been doing this for the past 3 to 4 years straight. I haven't stopped. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's stuff like that that a lot of people they can't stay that consistent. For me, consistency is key. Not giving up. I've been to the point to where I didn't want to do my platform anymore, as far as interviews, because it got to a point to where doing interviews were costing me too much. I was taking money out of my mouth to promote artists, and I didn't feel like the artists really appreciated it at the time, and maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but no one wanted to pay to get interviewed. But I'm getting every day people asking me, knocking on my inbox, can you interview me, and I'm like, well, yes, this much is da. They like, they don't want to pay. So I said, you know what? Look, if it's not a celebrity, I'm not interviewing nobody. I literally took, and my mom had passed, so I was not even in a good space to want to do it anyway. So I told my marketing team, like, look, let's just focus on delivering news and content. I didn't give up on 401 Uncut all the way, because I knew I still gave daily gossip. And I said, I'm going to continue to keep these pages engaging in case I want to come back to do interviews where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like staying, not giving up when it gets hard. You know what I mean? It's gonna get hard. You're gonna go through things. I went through losing my mom. I didn't think that would happen in the middle of my career, but I didn't stop. You know what I'm saying? I didn't just give up completely. I might have said, you know what? I can't go in here and interview people right now, but we're gonna keep this page bunking. And that actually is what helped my platform. Now we're reaching over, like, every month we're doing like 10 million on Facebook. We're doing like a million on Instagram and impressions a month through 401 Uncut. And that's because I figured it out. Like, you have to keep your audience engaged, not putting out original content. A lot of people don't know how to do that. And that's where it's hard to keep growing your platform. You know what I mean?
Right. She giving us jewels right now, y'all, because I know it's a lot of people that watch my platform that, want to be bloggers, want to have their own talk show, and want to do things independent in that field, but don't know how to, one, either gain the audience, and then some people have the audience, but they don't know how to make money off of it. Like they're in that situation where they're continuing to do free interviews and all this other kind of stuff. And, they quit because they got to go back to corporate or something, or go back to a 9-to-5 because they can't make it profitable.
It's so hard. It's
a strategy to it. It's strategy to this industry on how to do it. And then I think the biggest thing is knowing your worth, knowing what you bring to the table, because eventually it's going to be some people that's going to throw that bread.
And when it comes, it's gonna come. And two, you cannot, even now, I still do stuff for free. Don't get it twisted. Right. It's not a thing where I'm not gonna interview an artist from my city. But I'm very choosy about it. You know what I mean? If I know, you have to know what can really add to your platform. This got to be a trade then. If I'm interviewing you, what are you going to give my platform? Am I going to get a lot of hits off the content we're talking about? You know what I mean? A lot of people don't understand that when it comes, interviewing anybody. No, I'm not paying, $100 for studio time for 2 hours, paying a cameraman, and I'm running ads to promote my content on top of that. I'm out about $300 just to do this interview, and a lot of people who aren't content creators, they don't understand that overhead. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's an overhead that comes with creating content. But I think what a lot of people got to know how to do on their platforms through social media, that's the only place we got to promote our platforms. That's it. Right. Only got social media. If we don't want to pay, to get on the radio, we got a digital platform. So it lives online. We got to keep our audience engaged every day, even when we don't have original content. So that's the thing that a lot of people I figured that out. I knew from day one, when I created my like page for 401 Uncut for my podcast, when I created the Instagram page, when I created the Twitter page, I knew I would have to keep these updated so that when I did come around and say, look, I got a new interview out, people, they used to seeing this in their timeline.
And that's what them algorithms. those algorithms, and that is so key. That was one thing that I realized as well, because life happens, and when you're always just posting the original content and you ain't got no fillers and you think you could take those breaks and jump back, you wondering why you don't got as many likes or as many views, you lose your audience. And that's the algorithms, and the social media is set up to where you got to post on a daily basis.
Every day. You need to be posted 3 to 5 times on, on social media to
Yes.
get engaged, and you got to.
You have to. You definitely have to. And so I hope you guys, all my content creators out there that's trying to find their way, trying to get into that bag, take these jewels and understand this, because that's what it is. And once you get into your groove and you get into your niche, you gonna start seeing how things just, pop off for you. Because
Yeah.
look at Nella D. She over here, she got a Remy bottle.
Okay, and that's the thing too. That was one more thing that I was gonna add too, that I stated too. I don't know if they had caught it or not, or like I had a marketing team too. You know what I mean?
I heard you say that.
That's something that I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to our marketing team, 24-hour marketing. Shout out to my homie Bean. Like, I'm telling you now, marketing changed the game for me. We cannot, you cannot do everything for yourself.
Right.
No matter how lit you is, what you do know how to do, it's not your job to do everything. You get what I'm saying? Me figuring out, me coming from promotions at the radio station, I knew how important it would be to have a marketing team for my own platform. You know what I mean? I knew, because that's the heartbeat of, like, promotions is the heartbeat of the radio, marketing is the heartbeat of anything. And they were a big part in helping me keep my platform updated. It's no way I can host at the club, be on the radio, going live, doing interviews, all this stuff, and keep this platform updated every day.
Right. You got it. You got to invest in yourself on those levels.
You got to pay somebody to run your social media. If you don't want to do it, you got to pay somebody.
Right.
I'd rather you take the money. I literally said, you know what? Forget the money about trying to book studio time and pay cameramans. I'd rather pay a marketing team to just get everything together and just make this a digital brand.
Y'all hope y'all taking these jewels. I'm telling you, every time you come on Natural Woman and we do just a boss talk discussion, ain't no telling what we gonna come about. I know our last girl interview, it was all about branding and color and choosing, making sure your brand look on point and the presentation of it. Yes. Because it's ways that we can eat out in this industry.
So many ways. Ways.
Yeah, people aren't really selected. You can make your name for yourself. You just got to know what to do. It takes strategy. You got to believe in yourself. You got to stay consistent. She started in media 2011, y'all, and stayed consistent. We 2021. That's 10 years in the game.
You feel me? I didn't know nothing. Like, I didn't know anything. And this is the thing that I want people to know too. Like, social media really make it easier for us than it did like the personalities, the radio personalities and media people that came before us. Because, we create our own jobs. Like this Natural Woman magazine, like, you feel me? We could create our own jobs. You used to have to go, oh my God, I got to work for a company. Even for me, I'm part-time at Radio 1. I've been part-time the whole time I've been here. I got hired in 2013. I've been part-time. I got full-time for like 6 months right before COVID. COVID came, got put right back to part-time. But I always have 401 Uncut to fall back on no matter what. And I think that's just something that now, back in the day, if you was to get put part-time, you couldn't do it. You're like, well, what do I do? We got social media. We got podcasts. Use it.
It can work. Because somebody always scrolling, somebody always watching,
all day long. People are addicted. Like, people are addicted to their phones.
Oh yeah. It's a game. It's really a game out here. It can be mastered. It can be mastered, y'all. Mm-hmm. I am super excited. I'm sitting here with Nella D. You won best radio host or DJ 2018.
Yes, best radio personality for Ohio.
Ohio.
Yes.
How did that even come about? Because you DJ in Cincinnati, so were you able to expand to every other places, or it's just you doing what you do?
I don't know what happened. All I know, hold on, I like right here. All I know is that okay, the Ohio Kings presents Ohio Entertainment Awards Best Radio Personality Nella D 2018. I was in Atlanta. That's the crazy part. I didn't even go to the award ceremony. I'm in Atlanta at the time. I'm hosting that you know how they have A3C in Atlanta.
Yes, 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 yes.
I'm in Atlanta at the time hosting on a stage for A3C with the Progress Report, which is my homegirl platform in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
And I look and they said that I won. Oh my God, I lost. I lost. I'm like, what do you mean? I really won. And I had seen I was nominated. So I had told people like, oh, you know what? I'm nominated. Y'all vote for me. My city really turned up and voted for me. Like,
right.
like
and that's another question I want to ask you. What is so special about you that everybody loves you? Like everybody's gravitate towards you, they support you. What do you think that is? What's that magic about yourself? Or it's just you?
I don't know, because I'm pretty sure it's people that do not like Nella D, you know. I do not think like that because it's plenty to be like, I just don't like her, you know. I don't know.
But you got support.
But I do honestly feel like I get a lot of genuine support, especially from my hometown. My hometown, like Cincinnati, is so important to me, and I think that they know that I love them just as much as they love me per se. You know what I mean? I give a lot of my time. I care about a lot of things. Like I've been somewhere and I had like someone grandma walk up to me like, "Oh, you Nella D, you played my grandson on the radio." Like doing stuff like that is very impacting. You know what I'm saying? Interviewing someone's grandson. You never know who you just touching when you're doing things. When I'm out in the community and I'm just having fun with kids and I'm taking pictures at schools, and you know, I was the girl that used to pull up in the hood to the rapper's hood, like what's up, and just hop out, like what's up, y'all, and just kick it. And so I guess it's a thing where it's like, man, she rocks for us so much, like she supports Cincinnati so much, they give it right back. You know, that's why they say you got to be careful about what you put into the universe because it comes back. So I try to make sure I put out good. You know what I mean? I try to make everybody feel loved. I am a personality. I like to have fun. I'm involve everybody with whatever we got going on. I was the girl walking up to people in the club like, "Hey, I'm Nella D, and what's your name? I'm about to shout you out, girl." Like that. That's who I am. Like I'm not scared to walk up to anybody and be like, "Hey, what's up?" And that's type of stuff I think when it comes to being a talent, it just go a long way.
And I think that's super dope because that's the one thing I hear with people who are trying to make it just from out of Cincinnati, because it's my hometown as well. You hear the city don't support you. It ain't no love here. But sometimes that's not true because the city supports people. And I always like to ask, like, what do you think gives you that? Because some people say, oh, you got to leave. It ain't no support here. You know, people don't want to, you know, everybody cliquish and stuff like that. So.
And you know what, too? I think that, and you know, it can be in cases where it is, but like I said, you just gotta watch the energy you put out. Because Cincinnati is so small, a lot of people don't think about the things that they're doing, you know, on social media or anything. I try not to turn people off too much. I think a lot of people don't take that into consideration. You know, we live in a time where it's like, say what you want, you know, you can get on this phone, log in and start saying anything at any time. And when you just have a brand, when you know you're trying to create stuff, it's certain stuff that you just don't need to involve yourself in. So because you don't want to, people are sensitive. Like no matter what, people are very sensitive, and somebody might be like if I ha something, somebody be like, dang, Nella D don't like me. She laughed at, like, when that ain't even the case. So you just I make sure I kind of stay clear from certain stuff like that.
Right. Because we all see what they trying to do with Dave Chappelle. And he barely said what they are trying to make it out to see that way, but I ain't even about to talk about that.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story, okay?
Right. Definitely. Yeah, it's been super dope talking with you. I gotta point out you're looking so fabulous. I be watching your social media. You've been working out, you've been in the gym.
Trying to get strong,
How's that journey going?
it's going so well. I think this was the best thing I could have did for myself. It's crazy. I just made these changes like early July, like that first week of July, like around the 4th of July, I started making some changes to my lifestyle. I wasn't feeling good at all. I was
Mm,
feeling awful. I think just grief. I have dealt with a lot within the past 3 years. I've lost 5 people.
mm.
So um,
Sorry to hear that.
it was kicking my butt. Grief was
Right.
kicking my butt. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Grief was taking me and mollywopping me. Like grief was
Right.
really kicking my butt. And I was depressed. But one thing that because I'm like I'm strong and I feel like my mom just got me through and I'm just real spiritual and I know like God pushing me through. So I decided to just start taking my health more seriously. You know what
Right.
I mean? I decided to stop smoking, stop drinking so much. I decided to just start getting me a workout regimen, watch what I eat, quit just eating all just BS all the time. So
Right.
um, it really it's the best thing I did. Like this whole Remy endorsement came out of this. I feel like
Mm,
you got every different step in life requires a different version of you. You know what I
right.
mean? And I think that this version right here, I love her. I love her so much.
I'm loving this.
Yeah, I love her so much. Um, I'm not taking her for granted anymore, you know. I'm just being true to myself right now. And it just feels really good. And I can tell that like the way you treat yourself, that's the way you treat your business. That's the way, like it all come full circle. And since I'm
Right.
so focused on me and making sure I'm right, making sure my mental health is right, my physical health, like it's been it's been all coming around and I've been clearing things that I never thought I could clear. I've been doing things I never thought I could do, but I never thought I could get up and go work out every day. That was never me. So now that it is, it's just a lot of good things that's just following suit. Sometimes, you gotta just tap in with you for a second. We everything I'm not a mother yet, but I'm a big sister, and I'm a girlfriend, I'm a daughter. Like it's so much. You an auntie, you this, you that,
Right.
you got all these different, and I'm Nella D. You got all these titles you wear, and you try to take care of everybody else, but sometimes you gotta zone out for a second, make sure you're taking care of you and get yourself right so you can be the best for the people around you too.
Exactly. That's some wise advice. Wise advice right there. I'm loving it. So just with the Remy deal, as we wrap up, what is just the plans with that? How do you, if you can share, because I don't want you telling us your master plan,
Yeah,
but
I
that's
can't
the next step.
tell you my master plan. Just know though, like 1738, you're gonna see Remy everywhere here in Cincinnati. I'm definitely gonna be putting together some super dope events with Remy. I cannot wait. I feel like this is something that I don't know. Right now, I'm kind of feeling like when you I wonder how somebody did that, and I wonder how they got this stuff. I'm starting to like be that person, and I'm sitting back like I don't even know how the hell I did it. Like
Right.
like I just be working, I sit around, girl. I got notebooks. Okay, it's the notebooks. You got to keep you a notebook to write down everything in. Okay, all the ideas. Yes, honey, you got to have it. Have it. Like you got to write down all the ideas. You got to dream. Like, and that's where I'm at right now. I'm having fun dreaming. Like I'm having fun. How can I wow myself? What can I put
Right.
together, like that's just gonna be super dope? Like, and I know Remy Martin is just a blessing like in my life. So I'm so excited. I can't wait. Y'all stay tuned because you're gonna see some big stuff with Nella D and Remy Martin, like period.
Also, I can't wait. I'm excited because you could definitely feel just your vibe is different. Your energy is different. I love when you say you got to dream, you got to write. Like that's one thing I do. I jot down all my ideas, and it's so crazy because I could jot them down, forget about the notebook. Few months go back, like, oh, I'm glad I wrote this because this is for me right now.
Exactly, because I had to tell somebody. I said your thoughts, your ideas are worth millions of dollars.
Yes.
Write them down.
Mm-hmm.
Write them down and get started. And even if you, like you said, it's stuff that I write down and I'm like, you know what, this ain't gonna be right now, but I know I'm gonna need this.
Right.
So you gotta write it down. And too, I had seen something earlier that say, don't be scared just to get started. I don't care who you say, well, somebody else is doing this, or that's why you need to hurry up and get started. Because if you don't ever get started, somebody else, listen, they thinking the same way you thinking.
Right. Right. Because I tell people thoughts are thought forms, they flow.
Yes.
So that means you getting the same thought, that thought somewhere else. And it's really about who's gonna act on it and make it happen. And that was one thing that I tell people just about my story. When I started this magazine with my kid's desktop computer.
Okay.
And Microsoft Publisher. I didn't have cameras. I didn't know what the hell I was doing first off, but I knew I needed to do it. And I'm so glad I started then versus waiting. Let me get my cameras because I didn't get cameras and shit to 5 years later.
I just bought a camera like ago myself. I haven't had a camera the whole time. I tell people, don't wait. Guess what you do? It ain't nothing to get you a logo drawn up, okay?
Nothing.
That's about the only thing you probably want to do. And that takes about, somebody can get that back to you less than a week.
Right. Logo, and it ain't nothing to get a website started. Just something simple. How your online real estate. I think when I started out, my website cost $10 a month.
I started out with Blogger. I didn't even have to pay.
See?
I started off on Blogger. Shout out to DJ Drizzle. DJ Drizzle set up my Blogger site for me, helped me just so I could like have somewhere to post my 411cut.com. Look at 411cut.com now compared to then. It look amazing. Like, you know, like we are going to advance. This is what a lot of people don't understand. People be scared to get older, but getting older is so amazing because you are way better off than when you were young and didn't have wisdom and you just didn't know things. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people need to know, like, look, just get started. Things will come about. I didn't even have a website when I started my podcast. I was dropping my podcast on SoundCloud. See, I still got episodes and interviews on SoundCloud to this day.
Wow. And that's how it is. You get started, everything else gonna fall into place. You just gotta jump start it. And if it's something that you're destined for and that you're meant to do, the universe is gonna be compelled. Not even compelled. It has no choice. It's gonna bring everything that you need to make your reality, your dream, that thought that you wrote down, a reality.
Yes. I still got the notebook that I wrote for a One Uncut podcast down. I go back and I look at it like probably every 3 to 4 months. I look like, oh, okay, like I'm doing this. Like I'm gonna keep that notebook forever. That was in 2015. I still got it.
Yep, that's how we started the magazine. It was a black and white composition book, 2012. The plans are there.
Okay, you got down, writing things down. It separates you because now you holding yourself accountable. You got to walk past and go back through this stuff and look at it.
Right. And if you really messed up, you got some good ass ideas that you never did, never attempted. That's the worst feeling.
Like you need to get up and get it going now because time is moving. I tell people, don't be scared. Like, don't be scared. Don't be scared of anything. Once you really start believing, like I believed, like I'm gonna get this radio job. I knew it. You know, when I was in school, I used to be tired. I worked my butt off as an intern to prove, you know, to the people that were higher ups, like, no, we need her on our team. You know what I mean? But I believed, and when you believe, everything, the universe will make sure it happens for you. Make sure you give you the energy you need. Everything just falls into place. And when it starts happening, you're gonna be like, wow, the whole time that happened because of that. So I could hear it's like, whoa.
Right. And that's how it is. I love this conversation. Nella, you got to tell us. I've been posting your IG. Where can we follow you, find you? How do we tap into 411?
Okay.
Uncut? Give me all the goods.
Yes, so you can follow me Instagram and Twitter, Snapchat, all that type of stuff at Nella_D513. Also follow my platform 411 Uncut. We keep you updated on all the latest celebrity news and gossip. You can like us on Facebook, 411 Uncut Podcast. Log on to 411uncut.com and check out the YouTube page too. We dropping like new content every like 2 to 3 days. Interviews are coming out back to back with all the latest like artists that's popping out of everywhere from Detroit to Cleveland to Cincinnati to wherever. Like we taking 411 Uncut global, like period.
I love it. I love it. I love it. You got any events coming up that we need to know about?
Well, listen, every single weekend I'm at Prestige. We used to be called Privilege. We done changed the name Prestige. I do that on Friday nights and I host Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can catch me there. Literally, it's a turn up all the time. And I'm gonna be DJing the fashion show with my girl.
Yes.
Okay? Natural Woman Magazine. I'm DJing up in there. Like we about to get super turned. That's on the 13th of
November. Yes, it's gonna be super dope. I'm excited because I really invested into this production, and we're about to start a reality show, and so the fashion show is about to be into that as well. So it's just a lot of elevation, right? The elevation. So I'm just super excited.
Congrats on that.
Hey, I was telling my mother, I said, Mom, I gotta bet on myself before anything else, and so I'm gonna put all I got into my dreams, into my visions, into my ideas, and it has no choice but to happen. That's what all the greats that we look up as great tell us. Jay-Z took 10 years to get. He never got signed. He had to do his own thing, but he never gave up. And he said that was the thing that set him apart. They never gave up, and so you got to bet in yourself. Like you said, you got to believe in yourself.
Yeah, for real.
It's essential. It's essential. Well, I just love this conversation with you. I know we could have went and talked for a whole 2 hours.
Girl, you know how we look. We talk outside of this, so we
yes,
get on the phone and get it going.
Right.
We can't give them too much. Not too.
Can't give them too much, but they definitely got a lot of jewels. You better take these things, run with them, use them. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you go follow Nella D. I got her social media. It's on all social media under that. Make sure you follow 411 on the cut. Make sure you continue to follow the platform. Download the Natural Woman Magazine app. Our app is back up and running. We had to switch some things around, so the app is ready. So make sure you download, check out the Natural Woman shop, and just continue to support the brand and continue to do what you do to live out your destiny, because you living out your purpose, y'all, it helps everybody in some form of fashion. Don't ever think that whatever you put out there is minuscule, because if it's something that you were destined to do, it was meant to happen and meant to be. So,
she's preaching, y'all.
And there you have it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow. But until next time, y'all, peace.